Good day, everybody. Welcome to another Hacken webinar session. A nice little Christmassy jingle there for the intro music. Today's session is all about securing institutional liquidity. So whether you are an allocator that's looking to invest in the blockchain space, or you are a project that's looking to attract institutional liquidity, this session is for you. My name is Bryn. I'm the head of business strategy at Hacken. I've been leading the institutional strategy here for a couple of years. I've spent 5 years working professionally in crypto and another 5 years before that in e-commerce. I have a background in product development and BD, but more and more I find myself advocating for tokenization of real-world assets and stablecoin adoption and this kind of stuff. Our company is one of the leaders in blockchain cybersecurity and compliance. We've been in business for 8 years now, and through that time, we've established partnerships and relations with clients all over the world, from some of the industry leaders, blockchain foundations, regulators like ADGM, organizations trying to push for the safe adoption of blockchain technology. And we're also a member of lots of associations as well. We have on our team over 100 staff and over 60 engineers working in different specialities. The company itself was founded in Ukraine, but now we have offices worldwide: Lisbon, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, USA, and Estonia. And we recently hosted a fantastic conference at the NASDAQ in New York, Times Square. That's a picture of myself and the team enjoying ourselves outside the event. A rare moment of a break time from organizing that. And at that event, we hosted a lot of institutions and bigger players coming into the space. What did they teach us? That they are ready to deploy capital, but the market is not ready yet to receive it. So that's what we're going to cover today. And a couple of goals for today. We're going to cover how to attract institutional trust, what factors are going to make them decide whether to deploy liquidity into your project, designing a credible strategy, how to position yourself, what they expect, and how to meet not just the minimum standards, but the top standards that are required for becoming an institutionally valid product. So what do we see right now? Huge growth in stablecoins and real-world assets. Citi here is saying that it's going to 20x and reach $4 trillion by 2030. Opinions vary on that, but it's pretty clear that stablecoins are becoming more validated now by the market. And a lot of major US banks are securing stablecoin licenses under the new Genius Act. Looks like Clarity may be coming in as well, and looking for sustainable yield opportunities for stablecoins. Other drivers are tokenized assets. We're seeing that pretty much every asset that's on the earth is currently undergoing some form of tokenization, varying degrees of success, and that compliance is unlocking new capital. So a lot of the work we do at Hacken right now is driven by folks seeking licenses or seeking to become compliant. We used to kind of regulate ourselves in crypto, and now it's very clear that if you're not on the right side of regulation, you're not going to get very far. What are the blockers? So we still have security gaps. We still have costly exploits. I'll show you how much is being lost in a moment to hackers and exploiters. We still have limited visibility into protocol health. We don't have many standards for reporting on the state of blockchain projects. And that leads to this. Okay, these are the facts from last year. At Hacken, we release a institutional report every quarter into the state of cybersecurity in the industry. And last year, we saw that $4 billion was stolen, including $1.5 billion lost in a single breach to the Bybit crypto exchange. We helped them to recover, but really we want to be on the side of proactive approach and helping to prevent these kind of incidents from happening. 53% of these attacks were able to be executed via operational failures, and 52% of them are linked to DRPK, North Korean hacker groups. Okay, so they're specifically targeting crypto projects. We do a lot of research and publish this every quarter. If you want to receive that, you can scan that QR code right there or head to our website. 55% of yield providers account for the majority of crypto losses. So 330 yield-bearing protocols were targeted and have lost $49 billion over the past 5 years. That's from our research. A big chunk of that comes from the Terra Luna collapse. I still have personally PTSD from that incident, but yeah, it's a huge amount of money being extracted from this industry. A couple of other case studies then of other failures. Stream Finance lost 93 million, depegged to 50 cents as a stablecoin due to faulty recursive looping logic. A single overflow bug in a smart contract cost 223 million in under 15 minutes of the CETAS protocol. And again, this one was on Terra Luna. This is the anchor protocol that promised yields that didn't have revenue backing. So what determines TVL growth? Total value locked. Liquidity is the result of confidence. And now we're going to go into some practical steps that everyone who's building a blockchain project can take, and that everyone who's allocating assets to investments in blockchain can be aware of. So institutions evaluate projects on a number of different metrics. So they're looking at background checks on the team. Who are the founders? Do they have any track record of bad activity with blockchain products? What kind of media exposure do they have? They're looking at security posture. So as the project being audited, this is kind of the bare minimum standard, but then also, do they have extended security and bug bounties? Do they have real-time threat monitoring and detection and interception live? They're looking at revenue logic. So is the yield that is presented sustainable? Is it measurable? Is it real? They're looking at the depth of liquidity, smart routing, and liquidity provider lockups on the market structure side. And then they're also looking at compliance as well. So you often hear VCs, if you're fundraising, talk about regulatory moat. This is what it means. How are you licensed? Have you got your compliance documentation in order? Have you got strict AML procedures and automations? And do you have good security certifications? And the CCSS one that's highlighted there is a fantastic way to protect your key management and access control infrastructure. Okay, moving on. Asset managers do not invest into projects without a clear understanding of risks. Okay, so they're usually looking for third-party evaluation. And we have been asked by asset managers to conduct independent assessments in the past. Okay, so these insights are coming from our work, and our door is always open for projects that are looking to improve their approach as well. So there's 3 principles of securing a winning liquidity strategy here. Number 1, security and infrastructure. Number 2, financial sustainability. And number 3, dependency and systemic risk. Let's dive into number 1. Okay, so under security and infrastructure, we need to verify that all of our systems are technically sound. Okay, blockchain development is tough, it's tricky, it's still not able to be done effectively, we feel, by AI tools as much as folks are trying. So we need to make sure that the code that's holding all of this crypto value in is secure. That starts with smart contract security generally, and we conduct smart contracts audits with our team over Solidity, Rust, Move, every language that's been applied to that technology. Custody and depositing infrastructure, so the mechanisms through which user funds are received and stored, that would fall under the CCSS framework generally. And then we will look at yield generation mechanisms and distribution logic. So we've just published a methodology that specifically looks at yield bearing protocols and how do we audit them? What extra steps do we need to take to make sure the financial model is sound? Next, we're looking at operational security and governance. So the team in operational security is absolutely paramount right now. I'll dive into that a little bit later in more depth. And then we're looking at external integrations and infrastructure as well, off-chain components, technical dependencies, all of the parts of the system. So as I mentioned before, access control and operational security are absolutely paramount. Smart contracts exploits only account for 10% of the Web3 losses currently. We'll see how that goes with AI vibe coding tools, but currently it's 10%. The rest, over 80%, is coming from access control exploits, phishing attacks that lead to key compromise and often treasury compromise as well. So being aware of social engineering and phishing attacks is absolutely paramount for anyone that's running a blockchain organization. Making sure that you have good key management, making sure that your multisig or your methods of accessing the company funds are secure. Making sure again that even your company documents are locked down. Google Drive, if you're using that, make sure the permissions are set to the highest degree of security. Don't blindly trust in dependencies, and make sure you have a good operational discipline as well. There are standards for this. ISO 27001 is a good one that covers specifically data management and access control within organizations. SOC 2 is another one that covers responses and IT security as well. Those are quite common in the TradFi institutional world, but the crypto native businesses are still trying to keep up. So good cybersecurity approach is not a one and done process. You don't just have a smart contract audit and then you're secure. It's a constant battle, and you can never be 100% secure. You're always pushing for 99.99999%. So just having your processes locked down, making sure your code base is being audited, making sure that your key management is under control, infrastructure is under control as well, and then having a automated, ideally, response system for anomalous and suspicious activity is absolutely essential as well. And you're going to find more and more that you're having to report this stuff to regulators, to institutions as well that are involved with you. The second principle, financial sustainability. So making sure that the returns are real, reproducible, and built on sustainable tokenomics. So we have come from kind of the wild west of ICO mania and crazy tokenomics to more sustainable business models now. Key pillars of that then. So making sure you've got a decent revenue model and yield source identification. Again, that the sustainability of yield sources is being verified. Tokenomics and inflationary tokenomics is more important than ever to make sure that you have a good assessment, a good design of that, but also that you've actually stress tested it. And it's been put under pressure. They're going to want to see, investors are going to want to see that that's been done. Cost structure and fee analysis, so how your system finances its operations and distributes returns. How you fund your business continuity. Historical market data evaluation, so covering different market structures. At the moment, we're in quite a crazy time in the markets. Hopefully it improves, but we need to be prepared for the worst. How your system can scale without degrading performance. So we've had in the past entire blockchains sort of stopping when there's high degree of activity, for example, NFT mints, or a new DEX launches and the chain, some of the chains have stopped in those circumstances. Simply not acceptable for global payment systems, stablecoin systems to fail like that anymore. And we've already covered stress testing, but transparency and disclosure. So how you cover incidents, how you cover financial events as well. So bonus question, what about a token, specifically a utility token? Do you need it these days? We used to feel like the token is the best marketing instrument ever created in blockchain. We had hundreds of thousands of projects launching tokens. They still do to some degree, but it's become clear now that you need an actual functioning business model in order to attract serious investors. So some questions to ask if you're thinking about tokenizing a utility token. Does it create real utility? What problem does the token actually solve? And can you sustain its value once the initial hype of a new token fades? Okay, so again, coming back to stress testing. If you do decide to tokenize a utility token, I recommend you should focus on these principles. Somewhere in between creating an incentive not to sell and locking users' tokens lies good tokenomics. But we always recommend that you speak to a third party who has experience with designing tokenomics. It's an incredible process that goes into designing a good token engineering plan. And the number one rule is do burns and buybacks only from the profits, not from your treasury, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Going on to principle 3 then, dependencies and systemic risks. So this is the third-party providers that your product is dependent on. It could be your hosting provider. It could be an Oracle or data feed that you're dependent on. It could be other financial APIs and infrastructure that your system relies on in order to operate. If those chains break and those data feeds and hosting providers go down, does your product also go down? Do you have a backup? Do you regularly audit their operations to make sure that they're good? In my sector in Europe, this is now required under the DORA Act, which is part of the CASP license framework, the MiCA license for crypto asset service providers. So this has become more important for us over time, and we have a lot of clients going through the process of evaluating their third-party providers, their supply chain, and gathering documents from them and putting them into their risk management frameworks. It's absolutely essential that we do that. There was a huge incident at the back of last year with NPM, an NPM supply chain attack, and a lot of developers were pulling NPM packages into their code base, and quite a lot of them were compromised in the same attack. And developers don't think about that kind of stuff when they are pulling NPM packages into their code base. It's kind of one of the kind of automatic things that you do. And I think my personal experience of using AI tools to develop little bits of code is they tend to pull in old packages with known vulnerabilities, or they tend to use old versions of frameworks. And we really have to make sure, if we're using AI to code in any meaningful way, that code is checked before it's committed to main or production. This is probably going to become a huge issue over the next few months with all the tools that are coming out now. So the risk profile of a crypto product does change continuously. So you might be in one position one day and the position can completely change the next day. TVL, total value locked, fluctuates, markets move, very volatile sometimes. New code can get deployed or dependencies fail. So we have an issue in the industry where projects will have a third-party security assessment on the code base, but then they push a lot of commits, and a couple of weeks or months later, half of the protocol is already changed. I've seen developers able to push hundreds of commits over the course of weeks with AI tools now. So it's more important than ever that those code bases are checked on a regular basis. So, how to keep the risk profile up to date on the security and infrastructure side? Having a real-time on-chain monitoring system is absolutely essential. We can't all be online 24/7 to protect against hackers and scammers and criminals. So we have to have some sort of automation and risk management pattern there. Automated vulnerability alerts. We have a system called Extractor that provides you a full security dashboard where you can get yourself notified and respond automatically to incidents that happen. On the financial sustainability side, we have real-time data feeds, historical trend analysis, and automatic reevaluation when conditions change for tokenomics and these kind of structures. Dependencies. It's time to really audit your dependency stack. Have automated risk feeds when network infrastructure goes down. Check your concentration and exposure. Make sure you have backups, and also keep an eye on regulation, because if you should fall under DORA or any of these more updated CASP and VASP frameworks, you're going to have to audit your supply chain stack. Okay, to sum up, so how to secure institutional liquidity. We're looking at verifiable assets, sustainable financials, resilient systems, and ongoing proofs. So provable financial and cybersecurity data. From our side, then, we offer the full stack cybersecurity and compliance solutions for anyone that's building in the blockchain space. We also do risk intelligence reporting for institutional investors and allocators, asset managers who are considering investing in the space, from smart contract audits and penetration testing and blockchain protocol audits to the more advanced cryptography and frontier AI systems. We also offer tokenomics auditing and design under our security services as well. And not just that, we also have compliance and advisory services covering all CASP and VASP frameworks worldwide, all relevant certifications like ISO 27001, soon SOC 2, and we can also help with license acquisition, legal and tax issues for our advisory arm. On extended security, we have the Extractor platform. It offers real-time monitoring, detection, and incident response. We have Hacken Proof, which is our bug bounty platform. It has over 45,000 ethical hackers on there. Upcoming, we have Call Free. It's a self-regulatory platform for crypto projects. So essentially a rating of all the metrics and data points that we've discussed today will be published there. And then we also offer Dual Defense as well, which is a post audit crowdsourced audit competition too. So essentially, from pre and post deployment, all parts of the blockchain technology stack are covered by our services. There is a little diagram here that shows the process usually that we work with, from early stage projects that are getting security audits and pen testing done before their mainnet launch, increasingly more the yield audits as well, as when more of these protocols go live, to post-deployment projects where they'll have maybe an AI auditor as part of their stack, or continuous proof of reserves, bug bounty programs, and compliance and security dashboards as well. So this is all the stuff that we offer, and I think we have a couple of questions come in. So let's have a look for the feed. Okay, we have a couple of notes from people. Aurelia, thank you for the fire. It's always nice to see you in the chat. Okay, and likewise, my door's always open if anyone wants to chat about this stuff. If you scan this QR code, you can go through to my link tree. I believe it has all of my contacts on, from Telegram to email to LinkedIn and X if you prefer. So just get in touch with me via any one of those methods. It has been an absolute pleasure to present this to you today, and let's help to drive institutional adoption. Thank you very much.